couldn't dance. You didn't even want me around. And now I'm back to let you know I can really shake 'em down. Do you love me? I can really move. Do you love me? I'm in the groove. Now do you love me? Do you love me? Now that I can dance. Watch me now. Hey, work, work. Oh, work it out, baby. Work, work. Well, you driving me crazy. Work, work. Just a little bit soul now. Work. I can mash potato. I can mash potato. And do the twist. I can do the twist. Now tell me, baby. Tell me, baby. Do you like it like this?
Now, me, I was a Dick Dale dandy. I was going to Dick Dale dances on a regular basis, and I knew people that Sammy Lynetta and another girl named Mary Stockton. She met people that were producers for these dance shows, so they got us on because I was a good dancer and a good dresser. We got on the Lloyd Thaxton show, which was a local dance show that came out on Channel 13, and all the teenage kids in Orange County and Riverside County and San Bernardino County, throughout Southern California, everybody watched this show every night. It was, you know, what you did, you watched Lloyd Thaxton. So I got on Lloyd Thaxton and was able to, I was on the dance contest. I can't remember if I won it or not. I probably did. And then Sammy Lynetta and I lip-synced the songs. Thaxton had a thing where you would lip-sync, and we lip-synced What a Wonderful World by Herman and the Hermits. So whenever that song was out, that was when we were on the Lloyd Thaxton show. And I was on Lloyd Thaxton quite a few times dancing. It was also on the Hollywood A Go-Go. There's some footage of me dancing in Hollywood A Go-Go to the Byrds singing, I'll probably feel a whole lot better when you're gone. And that the Everly Brothers were there, Bob Lynn's Elusive Butterfly of Love, Freddie Cannon, who did Last Night I Took a Walk in the Park, a swinging place called Palisade Park. He was there. It was just a lot of people were at the show. It was a treat to meet the Everly Brothers and the Byrds, to meet the Byrds. They were very haughty. They thought they were something else. I also danced on Casey Kasem's Shebang and some of these other shows I don't even remember them. The Rolling Stones, the first place the Rolling Stones ever played in the United States was at Swing Auditorium. They probably heard about it when they sang the song Route 66. San Bernardino, won't you get your kicks on Route 66? So the first place they played was the Swing Auditorium in San Bernardino. So on Halloween night, 1965, the Rolling Stones played. I think it was the second time that they played at the Swing Auditorium, and there was a drawing that the local radio channel came in had done to meet the Rolling Stones, and I heard Sammy Lynetta's name was drawn, and Sammy didn't like the Rolling Stones. He liked the Beatles, so I thought, hey, I'm the one that likes the Rolling Stones. So I went up and told the guy, my name's Sammy Lynetta, I'm here to win my backstage pass. So I snuck in real fast, and then I knew Sammy carried ID, and all of a sudden I could hear him back there going, what do you mean Sammy Lynetta's already in? I'm Sammy Lynetta. Look, here's my ID. So then I heard a guy go, well, let that guy stay in. And I was lucky because there was an opening band which was made up of some guys that I knew from Dick Dale dances that had started their own band called the Bushmen. So I said, hey, let me in when I'm in your band. So I said, cool, you'll be in our band. So nobody kicked me out. So then I hung out with the Bushmen for a while, and then the Bushmen let me be in their band that night. And so they ushered us into a room, and there were the Rolling Stones with the Byrds. Now, the Byrds were really haughty. They thought they were something else. They thought they were above everybody. But not so the Rolling Stones. They were they were real open and real pretty cool guys. I got a chance to talk to all of them. And I started hanging out with Mick Jagger, and Mick Jagger was 22 years old, and I was 17. We got a picture of that. And he had just done the Tammy show and just been humiliated by James Brown's show. He couldn't believe James Brown. He'd never seen a performance like that. So I got in a little debate with him about what is rock and roll, and I said it's Chuck Berry. It's lyrics, it's a beat, it's lyrics, it's clever lyrics, it tells a story, and he was going, no, it's James Brown, his performance, it's the show, it's all that. Well, he ended up he took James Brown's point of view because he had just been blown away by James Brown. But later on, I kind of realized he kind of came over to my point of view, but he did both. He was both a performer. He became a James Brown performer, a dancer, and a person that really figured out what he was going to do. At first, he would just stand up there and just shake with no thought of what he was doing. He would just, like, he would wet his fingers and stick them in the light socket and just wiggle around and shake like, yeah, baby. But he later perfected it to the tune that he does it now. But he started to get influenced by the Chuck Berry writing songs. And he was drinking, and he kept drinking and drinking. He was getting sauced. And finally, just before he went on stage, I got to see something that was so poignant. That was 50 years ago. I saw this. He kind of disengaged from talking to me and from anybody. He kind of leaned his head back, and he went, "Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to." So Bob Dylan's lyrics were already starting to work in his head. And if you just follow the history of the Rolling Stones, the great influence that Bob Dylan had not only on the Beatles, but on Mick Jagger. So I met the Rolling Stones and met the Byrds for my second time. I got to meet them twice. I met them once there, and then I met them again at Hollywood A Go-Go when they thought they were just as cool as could be, better than sliced bread. But Charlie Watts is an interesting character, kind of a square, kind of an easygoing guy. Brian Jones was kind of an interesting character. Keith Richards was a happy-go-lucky sort of guy, still alive, unbelievable as it may be. And Mick was he was fun to talk to. It was kind of a trip to talk to somebody before they got famous, before they really took off and set the world on fire. But kept dancing and going on dance shows and kept going to Dick Dale because Dick Dale was still playing, and as long as he did. And then that kind of Dick Dale eventually kind of Harmony Park was where Dick would go one night a week, and Harmony, or 2 nights, I can't remember. Harmony Park was this old wooden floored, wooden storage room, basically, this big dance floor. And as everybody started stomping, the most magical thing would happen. Because it was a wood floor and everybody was stomping in unison, the whole floor would move about an inch. You could feel the floor moving. The whole room was pulsating with Dick's infectious beat. And everybody was just beating right to it. And it was here that I saw probably the most legendary character of all. I saw Danny Hines. And Danny Hines, I saw him a couple of times at Harmony Park when everybody else was dressed like a surfer. Danny Hines was a champion surfer, an excellent surfer that dressed up like a greaser. The last time he was seen, he was in the lowrider 50 Chevy with pom-pom balls with a Pachuca Princess with all ratted hair, and he drove off, and he was one of the first characters to have a chopper. This is a surfer, mind you. It has a chopper bike, and at Harmony Park, he wore motorcycle boots and Frisco jeans and a long trench coat. His hair was all greased back, and he had a little pencil mustache like Errol Flynn. Handsome, big guy, strong guy, no nonsense guy. The legends of him were that anybody took off in front of him when he was surfing, he was Mickey Dora on steroids. He'd kick out on him. He'd beat him up on the beach. That the judges of Orange County had banned him from being on the beach. If he showed up on the beach, he would be arrested for the violence. He was a violent character. I saw him surf only one time. I was coming off the freeway down to across the San Juan Creek, and I looked down toward First Spot, and there was this guy making a radical bottom turn, and on the bottom of his surfboard was a giant black swastika, and I knew it was Danny Hines. So I said, "It's Danny Hines." And when we got to the beach, he was gone. We didn't see him. So I only saw him surf on one wave, and it was a radical turn. But I mean, he had a swastika on the bottom of his surfboard. Kind of gives you the idea that this guy was just a rebel with no cause at all, just a rebel to be a rebel. He was a rebel without a cause, and he was the real deal. He wasn't. He was famous for being violent if you took off in front of him, and he kind of epitomized. He was both a Chicano, Hispanic, Mexican lowrider. He was a surfer, and he was a biker. He was all, nowadays bikers, your dentist is a biker. Nowadays, your dentist is a Pachuco, and the Mexican guys dress up like surfers. So the mixture was all there in this one character who just was anonymous and disappeared back into the crowd, and by 1965 was just history and gone. I often wonder what happened to the guy.
You broke my heart, 'cause I couldn't dance. You didn't even want me around. And now I'm back to let you know I can really shake 'em down.